Obviously, I'm Victor with Absolute Airflow. My company, we're still relatively new, but we've grown pretty fast. We're up to 10 employees now. My biggest thing is always going to be service. So our guys are trained to not only fix anything that's in your house, but they're going to be very mindful of your home. So when they come in your house, they're going to wear booties. They're not going to be cussing. They're not going to be outside smoking. They're not going to smell, stuff like that. It's a very big deal. So and this, a lot of people don't really care about service too much anymore. And in the companies that I started with and I grew from, we're always service oriented. So I kind of want to model my company that way. So if you do have any of my technicians to your house, they're going to have marked trucks. They're going to have our logos on them. They're going to wear booties. I just ordered uniforms for everybody, so everybody's going to be in white uniforms. They're going to look real clean cut. I'm not sure what happened with PowerPoint.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up myself.
So a good client for me is going to be anybody that has obviously any heating and air needs. I actually go on the opposite way. So my goal as our company is to make the system last longer. So by basic service, you're going to make your unit last anywhere between 5 to 10 years longer. But the main thing is going to cut down on the cost of running it, but also the wear on the system. So all that little fine dirt and dust because you haven't changed your filter in a year or two. And every time someone says, I change it every month, well, guess what? I go to their house, I open up the top of the trash can, and their filter's right there. They just changed it. It's terrible.
What kind of geographic footprint are you targeting here as you start it?
So obviously as close to home as possible, but I found that if you try to stay too localized, you're going to saturate your market. So I go anywhere, Inland Empire, LA, I pretty much go anywhere where there's money to be made.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I want to be. I don't want to be the guy, I won't go past the 55 freeway or whatever it is. So I go all the way down to San Clemente. I was out over by Coliseum the other day doing a job. Also out in Canyon Lake, which is out by Murrieta. So we pretty much go anywhere there's going to be work. Feel all special with my new shirt. Thank you, Kathy. So as far as our installs, if you see a picture, if you guys see the picture on the front of this advertising, you can kind of see what to expect. This is inside of a garage of a guy's home. He didn't ask for any of this. This is just what I expect out of my guys. Because when they leave, I want to make sure that no one's going to ever go behind me and say they could have done a better job. Okay. So as far as the little details, as far as every new install comes in new registers, we seal them. We want to make the system as quiet as possible. So if you have a furnace in the closet that sounds like it's freight train in your house, there's ways that we can cut down on that noise by insulating the returns and doing stuff along those lines. Tune-up service. This is actually Jim's house. Okay, this is an older furnace. It doesn't matter how old it is; it still needs to be serviced. Okay.
We change the filter every month.
And it's still going?
Yeah.
So this system's about 45 years old or something like 50 years old.
70.
38 years old. And Jim was kind of reluctant, like most clients are. If it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. And when I went to his house, it was in really, really bad shape. We had flames shooting out where they shouldn't have been shooting out. We had a lot of soot buildup, dirt buildup. So I actually took about an hour and a half. I took this entire system apart myself and cleaned it out like new. And
cussing the whole time. He was cussing the whole time.
The tune-up, our tune-up process takes about 60 to 90 minutes. We do give you a satisfaction guarantee. So if you guys do a service with us, we give you a full 60-day warranty. So if the thing breaks down in the next 60 days, you don't pay a penny. Okay, we're gonna come out, we're gonna fix it at no charge. This is Jim's house. So this is his motor before.
Jim. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, for God's sake. Breathing that air? Jeez, Lord.
I just cleaned it, too.
You can see there, I got the burners out on it. This is an older type of heater. The new heaters don't have these. If you look on the top of the left corner there, next to the motor, these look like swords. Yeah. These are old burners, and his were full of soot and all this stuff. And when they block up full of soot, it causes the flames to shoot in weird directions, which is actually a very big safety hazard. And that's why they've gone away from this type of heater about 30 years ago.
Or more.
Our service is going to come with a 21-point inspection, so we check everything. Okay, this is a before and after of a filter, and like I said, this guy changed it yesterday. When we come into your house, we're not just checking the heating and air system. We will be in the attic. They're going to be checking your ductwork, making sure all the connections are done. Most people in your house, you have control dampers. So when the guy's there, hey, if you want me to control the air, let him know when he's up there and he can try to adjust it for you. We also check to make sure there's safety for flues. When you go in the attic, I ask my guys to look for termites for tearing. These are things that we do to make sure, because it's out of sight, out of mind. We see rodents, we see anything, my guys are going to bring it to your attention. Okay. These are these stuff that we see in our safety inspections. Obviously, on the ductwork falling apart. So my room never cools. Well, half the time it's blowing the air into your attic. Where we live at, there's a lot of asbestos ducting still. So they put air conditioning on this 1950s home, but they don't change out the ductwork. So you've never had real air conditioning. The problem with the asbestos ducting is not to scare people. The problem is it's not insulated properly for AC, and when it's not insulated properly for AC, you actually get mold and nasty stuff growing inside of there, but it's also very inefficient with an AC side. My guys, when they come in your house, are going to be educating you. So their goal is in the 60 to 90 minutes they're there, you're going to know a lot more about your house than you ever knew before, because you're not going to go crawl through your attic, you're not going to check this stuff. And then we'll make sure to go over everything with you and give you any idea what it would take to either improve your efficiency or just have some notes in the future to know exactly what you're looking at, okay? I actually do work sometimes, so that's me there. Over in Huntington Beach, I was changing out a compressor for a client. So on my end, my goal is to not be working. So if I'm at your house, I'm usually doing job walks, stuff like that, because if I'm working, my company's not making money. I need to be out getting new clients. So that's my biggest thing, is I'm very good at delegating with my employees. Everybody has their job, and everybody's going to do the right thing for you guys.
So when you came to my house, you put an old unit in there and pretended it was mine. And
I did. It's called polishing a turd.
The clean one.
He didn't really notice that. Somebody told him.
The clean one was yours, and he replaced it with. You're not that smart.
As far as new installs in your house, we typically it's going to take 2 to 3 days. So on any new install, it could be you don't even have air conditioning, you don't have anything. It usually takes 2 to 3 days. If you already have heating and air, it takes us usually 1 day to change it out, and we'll be on your way. If you have no air conditioning, like Kathy had no AC, it took us 3 days, I believe, 2 or 3 days.
It was mostly 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days pretty much. We had them up and running. And tight attic, stuff like that. I'm actually working at a job today where the attic's about yay big, and my guys are crawling through it all day. When they're in the house, they're going to put plastic stuff around. So anywhere where we're working, they cover it with plastic. They're going to be if they're making cutting in the ceiling, they're going to be using a vacuum to suck that dust out, so it's not going to be all over your house. Warranty on new installs. So then on the left is a mini split. A lot of people have these now. It's more of what they do in Europe. So every individual room has a little unit on the wall. So this is a 4-head unit. This was actually very difficult to do. It took about 4 days to install this in a townhome that's never had air conditioning.
Okay.
So before and after, this is a furnace over in Huntington Beach that we did. You can see the pink closet in there. We actually gutted the entire thing. All the little details. It kind of looks like a spaceship if you look up close. It looks very nice. And the best thing is the customer, now they can watch their TV without having to hear it. So you literally can't tell it's on. It's just comfortable in your house. And that's what more of a modern technology does. And we also have these little slimline units for a lot of Huntington Beach houses. You don't have very much space on the side of your home, so this is what we install. It's only about 1 foot wide, and they're very quiet also.
Are they as efficient?
They are pretty efficient, yes. They're not as efficient as like those big spaceship looking ones, because the bigger they are, the more efficient they are, more surface area. Before and after photo, you can see we put vibration pads underneath the unit. We're not setting it on concrete. Everything on the system is going to be brand new. I don't reuse any electrical whips, anything on the system. I'm gonna replace it. Ductwork. When we do ductwork, every duct is going to be strapped every 4 feet through your attic, so it's not just laid across the floor looking like a snake. The goal was to pull the duct as tight as possible so that the air gets to your house or into your home as quickly as possible. You can kind of see some strapping. These are kind of dark pictures. But yeah, so this is a little bit of a presentation of what we're about. If you guys have any business referrals for us, like I said, we do everything from attic insulation, whole house fans. What else? We do the reflective radiant barrier. We do water heaters. Pretty much anything to do with heating or cooling your home. You guys have any questions?
Yeah. Go ahead, John. So like, there's a lot of homes here. They were built like in the 50s, 60s, 70s. So what percentage of people still have their original system? Meaning, they're potential customers for you, so we could like safely
What
refer, like,
percent?
how long has it been since your system has been gone through? Because a new system could save you
What percent,
X.
Mr.
You
Dunn?
know, like,
So where we live at, most of the people don't even have air conditioning still. You'd be surprised. And the second they have it, they're happy they had it. But a lot of people, they don't have it, so they have these old heaters and they think they run forever. The problem with old heaters, Jim's was still safe. I mean, obviously you needed cleaning. Once it was clean, it was safe. A lot of these old heaters are no longer safe. They were built to last 25 years. Metal can only expand and contract so many times. So you get cracked heat exchangers, which are carbon monoxide issues, but also fire safety issues. And also like a heater like his has 0 safety devices on it. So in the last 30 years they've gone, a new system now has about 25 different checks on it to make sure it's safe every time it turns on in your home. His had 0. So with that flame coming out on his, it would have been shut off on a new system if that's happened, because that's not safe. So stuff like that's completely changed. But a lot of people that have old heaters, they don't want to replace them. They just think that it's just going to run forever. Just because it's running, it does not mean it's safe.
Do you guys do any duct cleaning at all? Or what do you think about that?
So duct cleaning is kind of a ploy to get in your house and sell you new ducting. So if you need your ducts cleaned, they're usually pretty bad shape. So I don't do duct cleaning because I'm not this big. I can't get inside there and scrub them. I don't care what machine they tell you you're going to get. It will damage your ductwork if they try to shove it through there.
We have a 2-story house with one like air conditioning and heating unit. Is there a way for you to come in and we can block off the upstairs versus downstairs and vice versa? Is there?
Where is the furnace located? In the garage?
No, it's up in the attic.
100%, yeah. So you can add zoning. So it's actually like an electronic damper system that goes inside there. So you'll have a thermostat downstairs and a thermostat upstairs. So you say you set it for 75 downstairs, it's going to run until it's 75 downstairs and it'll shut off. But it might be 72 upstairs, so it's going to keep running.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually got zoning. It's awesome. If you have 2-story house, it makes a huge difference because you don't have to heat and cool the entire home. You can only, if
How
you were
much
in
does that cost?
it's quite expensive to put into the unit. Usually for 2 zones, it's about $2,500 because
Okay.
it's a lot of
I have
work.
another question. Townhomes and condos, you know, they want air conditioning for their health or whatever, but you can't put anything through the windows or on the outside because their laws are so strict. Would those wall units work?
Most of the time, that's what they want is a mini split system that goes on the wall because there's no ducting. There's not much that you see exterior-wise either. So,
What does that usually run?
that job that I did particularly, I actually lost about $3 grand on it, and it was a $5,000 job. So I underbid it. That was one of my first jobs I did, and it's very expensive to do. It's anywhere between 8 to 10 grand, and I literally lost $3 grand doing it.
Per room.
No, not per
That's
room.
more.
So 4 heads is more expensive.
Oh.
If it's a single zone one, you're looking about $3,500, and then it's about $1,500 per zone.
All right.
The other thing is, I'm going to be working with Mike Rains in a couple weeks here. I've been working. We're going to be installing a whole new heating and air system for one of his clients. He's a U.S. veteran, and they entered in our contest, and we're going to be doing that for them. So we got a video crew coming in and stuff. And I'll show you guys when we're all done.
Very nice.
Awesome. Great.
Awesome.
Very good.
Good job.
All right.